AskReddit by Poop for Play. Men of Reddit, what's the biggest green flag in a woman? Fighting and or approaching conflict in a healthy manner. During one of my early fights with my GF, now wife of 15 years, I was surprised that even though she was still mad, she clearly said, "I'm upset when you did X, because of something in her past. I know that past event is not your fault, but I'm still feeling some kind of way. We should talk later after I've processed a bit." Way I different than my past relationship. No silent treatment, no hiding emotions and exploding later. Firm about feelings while taking accountability, honest apologies. It's great. We still have conflicts, and even yell from time to time, but they are productive in the end. Edit, thanks for gold. Did she have a really good therapist? Is she a therapist? Was she taught this growing up? Or did she somehow learn this on her own? Us vs the problem mentality. Aka, instead of blaming you or herself for issues that inevitably will arise, she communicates with you in a way that focuses on what the issue is and how you can work together to solve it. Yup, this is huge. To me, this is also the key difference between a good work environment vs a bad one. Does your supervisor blame you for something when things go wrong, or do they instead figure out how to fix the problem and prevent it from happening again? Emotional intelligence, that will apply for men as well. Anyone who takes the time to wonder why they feel a certain way vs acting on it out of instinct is a gift. I've never been in a relationship before like this in my life. We can talk anything out peacefully, no arguments in years, no insults or hurt feelings. Emotional intelligence is the key. I've always wondered what emotional intelligence exactly is. I feel like the word is often thrown around. So when somebody could explain, would be nice. Straight up kindness. I met my wife 11 years ago and fell in love pretty quickly. She is the kindest person I have ever met. Doesn't matter the situation, she approaches all of them with a serenity that I have never been able to match. Every dog gets love, every baby gets ogled at. You need some help? She is there with work boots on. Homeless? She keeps snacks and cash on hand to give out. I'm having a bad day? She will go above and beyond to make sure I know that I am loved. My best friend married a woman like that. She's incredible. She asks questions about you to genuinely understand who you are as a person, not just what you do for work and other surface level topics. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? When I cried in front of her, my cat died, and she just hugged me and comforted me. Exes before would ridicule me. Literally can't even comprehend this. WTF. Who laughs at someone in tears? Thoughtfulness. Thoughtfulness goes hand in hand with a lot of traits. My girlfriend is the most thoughtful partner I've ever had. I missed out on a job at my dream company and she made me a feeling blue package full of blue snacks I like with a sweet card. I'll have a bad day, she'll surprise me with a dessert or a drink I like or something like that. She threw me my first surprise birthday party at an escape room with my friends because she knows I love them. When a partner takes time to genuinely think about you and the things you like, dislike, and thinks about things from your perspective, it's about the greenest flag I can think of. The best comment here, emo, because when someone does this, they're saying you're not easily replaceable. It's a good way of finding out whether a person actually values you, or is just going through the motions because they want a warm body. Sense of humor. Though many say this and mean laughing at my jokes, but I want to be laughing at her jokes and quick wit. Absolutely, if our sense of humor isn't compatible, then there is no hope for the relationship. One of my favorite things about my wife is when I am able to make her laugh at jokes that she doesn't want to find funny, yet she can't help but laugh at anyway. Being capable of admitting when you're wrong. My partner admits I'm wrong all the time. Asking me if I want to be little spoon. Yes, I want to be Little Spoon. Little Spoon rocks. P.E.s. She asked me this on our first night together. I knew right there she was special. My one friend calls it being the jetpack instead of the big spoon because she knows she's tiny. She is willing to try new things with you that are related to what you enjoy. Also, guys, this goes both ways. If your woman is interested in something, try it out with her. An ability to acknowledge her flaws and shortcomings. Someone who cannot see them or projects them on others is an absolute relationship killer. Just want to add on to the typical green flags here. She respects your hobbies and interests. Does not have to be into them herself, but knows they are important to you. I'm in my late 40s and my wife is cool with my weekly D&D sessions with the homies and late night gaming sessions. Unfortunately, not all are in the same boat. NGL, I've always wanted to try D&D, but I literally have nobody who's interested in that type of thing at all. Wants to play Legacy with me. I'll play Legacy with you. When she also loves to sit out and watch for shooting stars. I made my now husband go watch a meteor shower with me when we first started dating. And I dragged him to every planetarium and space museum I could find. He's not nearly as obsessed with astronomy and spaceflight as I am, but he was always a good sport about going with me. He proposed to me in 2017 during the full solar eclipse, pulling out the ring right after we took our sunglasses off during the totality, and holding it up in front of me. I've heard a lot of proposal stories in my life and my own story is still my favorite. My wife, among other zillion virtues, has this consideration for others' cleaning discipline. So we would go to hotels and she would make the bed, remove trash, etc. to the point that half the hotel's admins ask me if we even use the room. It's something that we don't even talk about but make my eyes sparkle. She knows they will have to change blankets and everything but thinks that an almost pristine room is a good image for the cleaning person to start with. Curiosity about the world. Good financial decisions. Yes, baby girl, let me see your 401k and brokerage account. Rah. Someone who actually is okay with their man being emotionally honest and open. A lot of women say they want that, but what they really want is a guy who'll call things cute and shed a single manly tear at Titanic, but will say, well, that's embarrassing if he actually cries over childhood trauma or something. If you're mature and healthy enough to realize emotional honesty comes with awkward and difficult things that you probably don't want to deal with, but will deal with anyway, then that's a massive green flag. I don't understand why society is so against men revealing their emotions. IDKY, but I find it so sweet if a man chooses to be vulnerable in front of me. It's like they are not afraid of what people think, and that's as masculine as you can get. Wow, they are very supportive. They give you your space. They are focused on building with you. They don't see the relationship as you vs them but team vs problem. I think this is my green flags for men too. Especially the space. I want to be my own person, but also be the rock for my spouse. I'm married 10 years now, and I value my ability to be my own person more and more every day. I'm grateful my spouse gives me the ability to do that. Emotional and financial independence. I'd rather be wanted than needed. This should be a more socially acceptable preference. Speaking as woman, I think it's healthier for both parties in most relationships if both partners can take care of themselves. I've seen so many guys mention that they are exhausted from carrying expectations of being the provider in a relationship. I know it works fine for some people, but I really think most adults are better off bringing some self-sufficiency to a relationship with another adult. The mutual support system is stronger that way. Being kind to pets, applicable to any gender. This one might be a bit odd, but when I met my now wife, the love and kindness my Phil showed me really stood out. The very first time I met him, we were all staying in a cabin. He offered my wife and I, GF at the time, the bedroom and said he'd take the couch. IDKY, but I think about that moment often, and now I'm as close with my Phil as I am my own dad. Seeing how her family immediately treated me was reflective of how she would treat me, and I'm happy to report we've been married for 6 years and are going strong. This is so wonderful to hear. I love in-law stories that are wholesome and warm. My parents have been horrible in-laws to my brother's wife, and it's caused a lot of stress as to how they'd treat my husband. I am backing away from my own family for that reason. It's been wild getting to know my parents in this new context, extremely unsettling, and many other reasons. So much of their dysfunction I don't want to be a part of anymore, let alone subject my husband to. And on the flip side, my husband's family has been nothing but amazing to me. Despite some troubled behavior of mine, I wouldn't blame them if they weren't welcoming anymore, but they are genuinely caring and want to be part of the solution, have been very supportive. Yay, awesome in-laws. Her owning 2 villages full of wheat farming peasants. I love my fine maidens from the Middle Ages. Wheat digger SMH. Empathy and humility. A pulse. Which is a joke, so sense of humor. That or wants to do her own stuff, lets you do yours, and you're both happy doing stuff together. It gives you loads to talk about when you can do your own stuff, then spend time together. Bliss. Saying what you mean and meaning what you say. Aka, communication. I'm not a mind reader, please just talk like a normal person. I don't pick up on hinting or anything like that. She has a milkshake and is standing out in the yard. But can she teach you? There are a couple in my opinion. Respect is a big one. I'm not dating anyone shallow, abusive or disrespectful to other people. It's a big indicator of something flawed in their personality. The biggest one for me though, and this is gonna sound weird, is when they text you back after the date ends. This isn't to say the guy shouldn't text back either, but seeing it from the other perspective really enforces the belief that they're interested in seeing you again. TBH, the biggest green flag I've experienced is if she does things for you. No one will spend money on things they don't have, want or need. If she puts together anything, buys something for you, makes you homemade food, sacrifices to make time to come see you, is a huge giveaway she's really into you and wants something amazing together. She desires you, and that is much stronger than her liking you. She's fun to cook with. If she's a chain-smoking alcoholic with severe PTSD, it's okay guys, I can save her. Yep. I see you've met me. Kindness. I'm a single dad, so a willingness to overcome scheduling obstacles in order to spend time with me is huge. Emotional honesty and availability. Staying during an argument. Enough people in my life just left me standing without completely giving me their side to understand them. Someone who could hold a convo. Sending me actually funny memes. Are we fixing or listening is a great question people need to use more often. Sometimes people want help, sometimes people just need to vent. Sympathy, especially sympathy for understandable mistakes. A woman shouldn't be okay with you cheating, say, or gambling away savings, but they shouldn't blow up over small mistakes like mishearing something or forgetting to pick something up off the ground, even if it happens more than once. A truly wise person realizes they make mistakes too. Rolling with whatever unexpected turn the day winds up taking. For sure, someone who can roll with the punches is definitely great. Having her own back, setting and enforcing boundaries without judgment or projection. HAWT. As fuck. If she is compassionate and patient. She shows a genuine interest in something I'm passionate about. For example, my cousin's friend was over, and she was asking about football. and she's a Minnesota fan. Bless her heart, and she understood players on the team and general a fair bit more than the average person, but she wanted to know more. So she was asking about other players, alignments, where everyone goes when lining up, etc. We're at the beach and so we go and throw the football around, and she's asking about how to throw it properly. I'm explaining it, she's getting better at throwing very quickly, and I'm gonna be honest, she was already attractive, but it might have been one of the sexiest thing a woman has ever done without being sexy. And she wasn't trying to be flirty with her questions, or ask but not really care, like just to be polite. No, she really wanted to know more about football and it was a real turn no. She makes an effort. A lot of women have the kind of mentality where they are doing a man a favor by dating him, so therefore he needs to romance her and be thoughtful and do all this stuff for her while she does the bare minimum. A lot of men might do it too, but I don't date men so don't really know. It's a huge green flag if she puts a lot of effort into the relationship as well. When I was a lot younger, a woman I was dating showed up with McDonald's. I love McDonald's. Flowers and a 5-pound bag of gummy bears. I was absolutely dumbfounded. I put a lot of effort into making partners feel special and loved. I expect the same thing. If they aren't good at it, that's fine as long as they put the effort in. Having a different hobby than being chronically online on social media. Kind to others. When your friends enjoy her company and she takes a genuine interest in their lives. Diverse ass music taste somewhat beyond the surface level. That she likes me.